On the open grasslands of sub-Saharan Africa, the rules of predation were rewritten by a single anatomical decision made 60 million years ago. Not talons, not speed, not venom, a kick. Every other large raptor in Africa hunts from altitude. This one chose the ground and never looked back up. 30 kilometers a day on legs that comprise 55% of its total height, longer proportionally than those of any other bird of prey on Earth. It has the crest plumes of a fashion model and the leg proportions of a professional kickboxer. But the feature that defines this bird is invisible at rest. It lives inside the tendons, coiled, loaded, under tension. When those tendons release, they deliver a force of 195 newtons, 5 times the bird's own body weight, concentrated into a single point of contact in 15 to 20 milliseconds. Faster than a human eye can register, faster than a viper's jaw can complete its closing arc, faster than survival allows for any mistake. The prey this bird selects is not chosen for ease. Puff adders, Mozambique spitting cobras, black mambas, the most chemically lethal reptiles on the African continent, each one capable of killing the bird that hunts it. This is not a creature that avoids danger. It has spent 60 million years building one answer to it. 20 milliseconds. That is the margin between a living bird and a dead one, between venom delivered and venom wasted. The difference anatomically is the width of a snake's skull. Everything this bird becomes, from the day it fractures its shell, is a preparation for 20 milliseconds. Most arboreal snakes lose climbing grip above 4 meters. The nest is built precisely at that threshold. Most arboreal snakes lose climbing grip above 4 meters. The nest is built precisely at that threshold. The toes curl and release involuntarily, a reflex that predates any conscious control of the leg. Days before any prey exists, the leg rehearses the strike. The brain programs the sequence first. Blood vessels run inside each emerging feather. Damage at this stage leaves a structural flaw that never regrows. Every wing beat against gravity builds the pectoral muscle mass required for eventual soaring flight. Each landing loads the tendons mechanically, forcing collagen synthesis and progressive stiffening. The exaggerated high step is not caution. Every stride is a rehearsal for 20 milliseconds. A successful strike activates the dopamine pathway, the same mechanism that drives human skill acquisition. The sinusoidal track in sand is a recognizable signature. Misreading it means stepping onto a coiled viper. A snake can still inject venom 30 minutes after death. Inspection is not curiosity, it is risk management. The leg can strike, but a black mamba strikes back at 20 kilometers per hour. That encounter is coming. One successful kill restructures the neural pathway permanently. The next encounter will be faster. A defensive strike depletes up to 40% of available venom. The adder cannot afford to miss. It has killed a puff adder. A black mamba moves 3 times faster and strikes without warning. Nothing has prepared it for that. Cytotoxic venom on corneal tissue triggers inflammation within seconds, enough to compromise targeting accuracy. Five times body weight, repeated across hundreds of strikes. Spongy bone matrix at the tarsus joint redistributes each impact in under 3 milliseconds. Scale thickness and pigmentation are both regulated by testosterone, the same hormone driving territorial behavior. Full adult morphology requires 3 years. The neural timing for a 20-millisecond strike is the last system to lock. "30 kilometers daily on foot." The secretary bird's stride recovers 60% of each step's energy through tendon recoil. Synchronized walking is the first stage of pair assessment, each bird reading the other's fitness in real time. Two eggs. Each contains the behavioral blueprint that 3 years of trial and failure helped select for. Each footfall transmits vibration through cracked clay. Prey species buried beneath detect it within milliseconds. The shell fractures from within. Somewhere on the Serengeti, the 20-millisecond sequence is already being learned again.